Hey, I'm Jackson Lanzing.
And I'm Collin Kelly.
And you are listening to the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.
Happy holidays, Cap fans. It is episode 168 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm your host, jolly old Rick Verbanis. And as always, I am joined by the best gosh darn elf out there. That is one Mr. Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob. Mama just killed a man. Put a gun against his head. Pulled my trigger. Now he's dead. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me.
Galileo!
Galileo.
Galileo!
Galileo. Galileo Figaro. Magnifico.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Yes.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
Did you like my hello to you?
I loved it. Who wouldn't like a little queen?
You want to rephrase that, Bob?
No, I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
With it. Yeah.
All right. Did you like what I picked out specifically for this episode?
I do. I thought it was very apropos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are covering today a brand new, hot off the presses, just a few weeks ago, Thunderbolts #1 by Jackson Lanzing and Collin Kelly. And wow, what a really blockbuster first issue. And we'll get to that in a minute. The lines from the song that I picked out, put a gun against his head, pull my trigger, now he's dead, certainly will make more sense.
It's prescient. Let's say that.
Sure, let's say that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Thunderbolt and Lightning, right?
Absolutely.
It's the Thunderbolts, justice like lightning. So anyway, yeah, looking forward to covering this today with you. How have the holidays been to you, Bob?
So far, it's been wonderful, Rick. But holidays for me last all the way to Valentine's Day. So I hate to say that they're over. They're not over. They're not over until my wife says they're over. And so,
all right, you want to explain while those 6 weeks leading up to Valentine's Day are also the holidays?
Just very important. There's an anticipation of a lot of planning and consideration and questioning about what my significant other would like. I gotta say, my wife, God bless her, I love her.
You almost sounded like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation. Oh, my wife, God rest her soul. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, no, she's not.
No, she's fine. She's fine. No, Casey, my wife Casey, who I've been married to now for many years. I lost count. No, it's 19 years. We've been together, I guess, 23 years. She always told me right up front, she's like, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about missing our anniversary or my birthday or wondering what it is I might like, because I will remind you of our anniversary and birthday and other significant holidays. And I will tell you very clearly, give you suggestions about what and not necessarily gifts or that sort of stuff, but you know, she's very upfront about, like, you know, there's no mystery there about like, gosh, would she like that?
Well, you know, I think it was episode where we celebrated our 2-year anniversary, Bob. So a year ago, and you said there are two kinds of people, Rick. Do you remember this?
I don't, but that sounds like me.
There are two kinds of people, Rick. Those who don't tell you what they want as a present, and those who do.
Yeah.
We are in a family of those who do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always, she always asks me, you know, she's very clear. God bless her soul. She always asks me, what do you want? And I always say unambiguously, cash.
Or checks made out to cash.
Yeah, checks made out to cash. Either one's fine. Or, you know, even like a prepaid credit card. Any of those are fine. So there's no ambiguity there as well. So we're well made for each other in that
Apparently.
regard. But but anyway, Valentine's Day, it's a bit, we love celebrating. Not that we go out and big fancy meal or anything like that, but it's a nice holiday. It's a fun holiday to have.
It's just like you, Bob, to really just take away from the current holidays that we're celebrating to go talk about one that's 6 weeks away. You're not going to pull me into it, Bob. I'm not going to ask you about Valentine's Day. No, I'm not falling for it.
So you don't want to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. Day or President's Day either.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are very important holidays.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So I've been enjoying my time off. It has been.
What have you been doing?
Oh,
at that time.
I have been partly relaxing, but also just getting stuff done. It's like I have this time off at the end of the year, and I'm very fortunate with the company I work for, with what they do. Time off at the end of the year, and so I always like I'll get to it then. I'll get to it then.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to it. So I've been getting stuff like I mailed out all those challenge coins, right? I got those out. Because it takes a while.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't just like stick it in the mail. I like to write a personalized note and, and handwrite everything and, and all that, take it to the post office. So, I was able to get that done. I edited, I'm a couple weeks ahead in editing. Right. So that takes a little bit of pressure off. If there's ever a weekend that comes up and I got other plans, fun stuff like that, Bob.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, did you go, you went to like a movie showing recently, didn't you?
Oh, I did. It was, a couple weeks ago, we did just to get the family into the spirit. Right. So it was on Friday, December 15th, where I live in New Jersey. There was a theater that, and this is like a performance theater, not like a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
And they did Christmas Vacation, and they played the 1989 movie.
Yeah.
Now my kids love that movie. Every year we watch it as a family, and Megan likes it, but it makes her squirm a little bit. It's a little uneasy.
The squirrel? She doesn't like the squirrel?
No. Yeah. Squirrel. And anyway, so we love the movie. So we went and saw the movie, and then it was followed by an hour-long live Q&A with Chevy Chase.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he's like 80 now. And anyway, it was a unique experience. And it was also kind of cool because we're in the theater and you get some people yelling out the lines, and that's always fun.
Did he respond to anyone that asked him a question? Like, was there any woman that asked him a question, and did he respond, "Jane, you ignorant"?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, he did answer some questions about Saturday Night Live.
Did he?
Yeah. And of course, all the different movies. It wasn't strictly focused on Christmas Vacation, but
yeah.
So that was fun. That got us into the holiday spirit.
That's
and then my son, he is performing in Polar Express, like he's actually on a train, and he's with a couple other people, and he has a role where he's talking with the audience and going around and kind of
hot chocolate.
Yeah, and he does the hot chocolate scene.
I love
he's
that
got the little tray with hot chocolate, and he's dancing around with the hot chocolate tray.
Great, awesome.
It's super cool. And anyway, Meg and I saw it, I guess back in November, and then it is tonight, because this is December 27th when this comes out. Meg and I are going back, and we're taking my daughter Selena. And so the three of us are going to go see that show tonight. So can't wait to do that. It's a good way to we kicked off the holiday spirit by doing that, and we're going to kind of end it that way.
Yeah. So if this is December 27th, Rick, do I look older? Because my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, well, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you got some.
It's the lighting.
I was, is it? Is it? Yeah, I forgot to say that, Bob.
No, I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah.
54. Am I allowed to say that?
Sure, you can say 54. Feel free to say 54. Scream
It's
it
not
from the rooftops.
because it's not right.
Oh, yeah, if only. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, seriously, how old are you?
56 now.
Is it 56?
56.
Oh, okay.
On the downside of 50s. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, like a day over 55.
Dang, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Means a lot coming
I
from
mean, technically, you are a day over 55. But...
Oh,
well,
goodness.
yeah. So it's funny. I've always thought of now. Well, I don't know. When you think of with clocks and calendars and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Seasons, right?
Mhm.
I think of seasons like a clock,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And I see like, all right, winter is December, January, February.
Yeah.
Spring is March, April, May, right? And I visualize it on a clock, right?
Yeah.
And I also take this kind of thing into when we talk about being in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that early, mid, late,
Yeah.
right? So 50, you're 50. It's just
Yeah.
you're 50.
Right.
Early 50s is 51, 52, 53.
Yeah.
Mid 50s is 54, 55, 56.
Mhm.
Late is 57, 58, 59.
Yeah.
And I had said this to Megan.
Yeah.
And then she had said it to her mom.
Yeah.
And Megan at this point was, I think, 47,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And so technically she was in her late 40s and her mom was like, no, you're still in your mid 40s. Late 40s is like 49.
It's a very narrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like early 40s is 40 to 46.
Yeah, right.
Mid 47 and 48, and late is 40. I mean, I can
Yeah.
subscribe to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
But based on my definition, Bob, you're still in
Yeah.
your mid 50s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Nice. That's awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's also good to, we have a different idea of seasons. Since I moved to Florida, it's everything is cockeyed, right? Because
Well, it's all one season.
yeah, it's all like one. Well, we're in like, it's been like in the 60s and 50s here for like a few days. And so
Oh,
everybody's
wow.
super
How did you
excited.
survive?
We got our flannels on. My wife turned the heat on in the house yesterday. I walked into the office this morning and the staff had put the heater on in the triple wide trailer. And, it's like, it's amusing, right? But we get about a month of this every year. And then it starts to get hot again. And then it sort of gets super hot in the summer, but it's one long, like 11-month long summer. And then you get like a 1 month fall. And that's the seasons down here. So it really does mess you up when you start to think about like, is it spring? Where are we? Sort of thing. Yeah. So I'm applying that to my life. So I'm in the spring of my 50s until 59. And then I'll be in the fall, falling towards 60.
Falling forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to my opening to you. And I pulled up the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody. And there's that part where Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? I actually was like, what the heck is a Scaramouche? Do you know what a Scaramouche is?
I don't know. All I know is that there was that Trump advisor, Scaramucci.
A Scaramouche is
Yeah.
a cowardly buffoon,
Huh.
a rascal or scamp.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, there you have it.
Bob, I
They
think
used a lot of weird words in that I think in Bohemian Rhapsody.
After we close the show, you should pull up the lyrics and we should do it together.
I'm not singing at 10:30 at night in my house. Nice try. Nice. I'm on you now, buddy.
So, Bob, one of the things we did not do last episode in the 3-year anniversary, we didn't pick a winner for some comics from my Cap comic collection.
Oh my goodness.
And so I went ahead and I put some names, if everybody called in and email and all that. I put them in a hat. I drew a name. You want to know who the name is?
Yeah.
Michael C. Johnson.
Michael, congratulations, man.
You are a winner.
All right. We knew that all along, but I mean, it's nice to
Yeah.
have it like validated.
Yeah. And what did he win, you ask? I have here in front of me, Bob, 4 Captain America comics.
Oh my goodness. Those are some
Yeah.
awesome ones.
Right?
Yeah.
This is Captain America 286, 287, 288, 289. It is the 4-part Deathlock Lives. And Bob,
Great art.
so congratulations, Michael. I will get those out in the mail to you. This is actually a very important story to me because 286 was the first Captain America comic that I remember buying with my own money. And it was the summer of 83. And that cover of Deathlock holding up the laser pistol, with the scope on Captain America, it just drew you in. I mean, beautiful art by Mike Zeck and John Beatty. And so fantastic. And then, also in the Facebook group, it was recently somebody was posting some stuff about the Falcon miniseries. And I was like, oh, I remember this one particular issue in page in the Falcon miniseries where Cap takes his shield and he just throws it and ricochets and knocks out like 3 bad guys at one time. And so I actually went in and I found it and I posted it in the Facebook group. And it was just so cool because I forgot about this. In the panel right above it, you see Cap jumping around, in that style art style where it's shaded lightly, and then like the last one is like the fully colored one.
Yeah.
Right. And he's dodging bullets and acrobats and all that. And I was like, wow. And it was right around that time in 1983, that I realized like Cap's badass. And I am totally a Cap fan.
Yeah.
And I think the Falcon miniseries helped solidify that for me with that one particular page.
Interesting.
And you know what else is interesting is that was 1983. This is 2023, 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you think you feel old, right?
Wish you hadn't done the math there.
Yeah, 40 years. I have been collecting Captain America comics monthly, every single month for 40 years.
Wow.
Do I get a prize or something?
You should get a note prize at least, right?
Yeah, well, it's typically what I get.
Yeah, I'll get one of those in the mail to you right away.
I appreciate that.
You got it. You got it, my man.
All right, Bob. Should we get to today's comic?
Let's do it.
All right. Thunderbolts #1. First, I'm going to get to the solicitation. Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, would do. Would do. Yeah.
Would do?
I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. I would doodly do. Yes.
A revolution is coming. Bucky Barnes, the new revolution, just inherited a mountain of covert intel, and he has one objective: justice, like lightning. He's going after the establishment, the people no one else is willing or able to take down, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. Teaming with the mysterious Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Bucky assembles a team of Black Ops heavy hitters to pursue high-profile targets like the Red Skull, Kingpin, and even Dr. Doom himself. No one is safe from the Thunderbolts.
Wow. That sounds exciting, Rick.
That's a story I want to read.
Yeah.
And
heavy hitters.
As I had mentioned before, the writers are Jackson Lanzing and Collin Kelly. It's being penciled by Geraldo Borges, inked by Geraldo Borges, colorist Arthur Hesley, letterer Joe Sabino, and the editor Alana Smith. The cover, there was always different variant covers and so on, but as far as the main cover to the story, it is done by Terry and Rachel Dotson. And Bob, do you want to take the listeners through it?
Sure. Well, right there, smack dab in the middle of the cover is Bucky Barnes in his Revolution attire. So,
Is
it's
it?
sort of
I don't know if it's his Revolution because he doesn't have the ponytail. He doesn't have the cape.
well, he doesn't have the cape, right? He, like everyone, he learns that those boat cloaks just aren't practical.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He doesn't, it's just one black piece of fabric right over his, except of course for his robotic metallic arm, which is still exposed. And then on his right shoulder, he's got the 5-pointed star of the revolution, right, of the outer, that was in the center of Cap's shield that represented the outer circle folks. And yeah, he's not sporting the ponytail, thank goodness, anymore, but he's
the man bun.
The man bun, right? He's letting it wave free. But anyway, he's got his left fist clenched, and in his right hand, he's got a pistol, and there's smoke coming out of the barrel of the pistol, and you could tell on his face that he's got a combination of like seriously peed off. Where is it? PO'd off? Whatever. You know what I'm saying, right? He looks angry, but he looks determined as well.
I'm like, rice pilaf? What the hell are you talking about?
He's like, he just got some rice pilaf. It's stuck in his teeth, whatever. And his chest is out, and it looks like he's loaded for bear, right? But on the floor in front of him, Rick, it appears to be the torso. We see the torso of the Red Skull splayed out on the floor in front of him, and underneath the skull is this pool of blood. And then, of course, behind Bucky, we see 4 other individuals. Now, we just see the silhouette of their legs.
Silhouette.
It's a really cool cover. It's simple, but there's a lot of emotion being conveyed by the face on Bucky and his body, the way his body's gestured.
Yep. Well done. Thank you for pointing that out. But it says the Red Skull must die, and there's Bucky standing over it looks like a very dead Red Skull, right? There's blood, pool of blood everywhere. So if the solicitation is to mean anything, this cover sure seems like it. Of course, you never know, Bob. You never know with covers, right? Sometimes they trick you. You might think something in the inside is this. Yeah. So we don't know if we're actually going to get this, but if we do, who doesn't want to see a dead Red Skull?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some really explaining to do. I mean, Red Skull's been around for a super long time, right? So, yeah, hopefully there's a good story leading up to this. We'll explain it.
Well, I have my physical copy right here. I'm going to pull this out and open up to the first page. It is not a splash page, which is tradition, to see a splash page when you open something up. But this is 8 equally sized boxes, because I think this was a way for Jackson and Collin to kind of really kind of speed through the precursor to what got to this particular part of the story. And it is essentially, I'm gonna describe the pictures, and then I'll get to the dialogue. So we have Berlin, and we see I don't know, Bucky, Winter Soldier. Can I just call him Bucky?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bucky's walking away from somebody who's laying there with a knife in their hand. Washington, D.C., we see him walking away from an explosion where a door is coming off the hinges. In Mumbai, we see him, looks like he's helping people escape, and he's got, he can make his arm into a shield, and he's defending them. In Madripoor, looks like he's in a bar, and looks like he's killed a bunch of people. Rio de Janeiro, he is leaving like an ATM which got money just going everywhere, and people are just picking up the bills. Outside Denver, it looks like we're seeing the crash of the Outer Circle's base, right?
Yeah.
London, we see him getting on looks like I don't want to say the Concorde, but something
does
very
look like
similar.
a Concorde. Yeah,
right?
I was thinking that too. And I'm like, I don't have that anymore. So
And then Lake Como, which is now, and he is standing there with what is that, a 45 Magnum?
well, it looks like a 45.
Okay.
Yeah, which is different than a Magnum, which would be like a 357. But
Oh,
it's
sorry.
it's a semi-automatic pistol. It looks like a very heavy caliber weapon, but it looks
Yep.
it looks
Does some
almost
damage.
yeah, it's the same sort of weapon that he might have carried in World War II, same caliber. So
Okay. So then we hear during all of this someone speaking. I have been watching you, Bucky Barnes. Your beautiful little revolution. So many saved from the life you led, and even more bodies left bleeding in the shadows you call home. Justice, righteousness, spectacular stuff. A century of conspiracy turned into a pile of quarantine rubble in the Rockies. Did you really think I wouldn't prepare for the day you came to get your pound of revenge from me? Because honestly, Bucky, I don't care what kind of smolder you give me with those long, beaten puppy dog eyes. And then we turn the page, and it's Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
or as we like to call her, Val.
Yeah. And so she's kind of lounging on a deck chair, looking on a really nice resort outside in the beautiful sun, on the coast of some sort of, looks like a Mediterranean, not Mediterranean, but um, you know, uh, maybe off of Greece or something like that.
She's in Italy, Lake Como.
Oh, yeah, I kind of said that, didn't I?
Right. I think that's George Clooney's house right next door.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
And so she, from her lounged position, is holding a pistol aimed at Bucky. And she goes on to say, I will put a bullet in your head and keep your fancy arm as a trophy. The Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine vowed to her friends, OXE, and that's an acronym, OXE, is a hell of a thing, the company of 1,000 shells. You know more about the secret wars of this world than even I do. But the century game is over. The people you built OXE to serve, they're dead or gone. Then you just wasted the last 7 years of my life. And I hate wasting time. And you hear a click. Now, when I first read that click, I thought it was her pulling the trigger and it was like nothing was coming out.
Right.
But I think she's cocking it.
She is. She's cocking the hammer. Yeah.
But with what? Because her thumb's not moving.
It's a good point.
That's why I thought it was.
Yeah. I had the same reaction when I read it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no bullet in the chamber.
How would you describe the look on her face?
Resigned. I mean, she doesn't look fearful.
No.
Or surprised. She just sort of looks tired.
Yeah, like this is just another day in the office.
Yeah, right. Yeah, been here, done that.
And next page, Bucky puts his gun up in the air, and both hands up in the air, and he unclicks his pistol, uncocks it. You misunderstand me. I'm not here for revenge or to destroy what you've built. Quite the opposite, actually. See, I've got a new kind of mission, and I want a partner. Now, at this point, she raises an eyebrow. She is a little surprised. Is this some kind of play to get me in brightly colored Kevlar? You're pouring the wrong aperitif. This is an invitation to the table, a way to use OXE for something worthy. Recruit allies, identify threat vectors, help me plan a foolproof worldwide operation to permanently stop a target we both know has been under the protection of history for far too long. Oh, okay. Now you can call me Val. And she lowers her gun. and she puts it on the table next to her with some sort of, almost looks like a iPad, but
Oh, whoa. We're not doing product placement, right?
it almost looks like a tablet, Bob.
Tablet of some sort.
Yes.
All options are on the table, folks, over there at Samsung and Apple, if you're interested.
Yeah. Not to say that we wouldn't do product placement, Bob. I mean,
no,
we
not at all.
are,
Yeah.
we are, when it comes, we're whores when it comes to that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, or in general sense, yeah.
Though I've got to say, sounds a lot like a revenge scheme to me. No, this is different. Something I should have done a long time ago. This is justice, like lightning. And he smirks when he says that. So we cut to the next double page, and it's basically the title page, right?
Yeah.
You want to read it, Bob?
Sure. Not long ago, Bucky Barnes and Steve Rogers defeated a shadowy organization that was controlling the world in secret. Bucky inherited their intel, and he intends to make the most of it.
And what is the title to this issue, Bob?
Thunderbolts, World Strike.
Operation Skullburn.
I like that.
Yeah, I think this particular issue is Operation Skullburn, and then next one will be World Strike, and it'll be Operation something else.
Yeah, and those operations are numbered, as you see. This one is OP01.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a dossier of some sort. Yeah, pretty cool. Turn to the next page, and we are in Argentina. And it's late. And up in the mountains, we see 72 hours later, after Val and Bucky were talking, and it says, and not a moment too soon. Bob, what are we looking at here?
Holy cow, Rick. It looks to be there's some sort of base or something. I mean, we see some bulldozers tearing up some logs. We see an oil derrick, but we also see a bunch of soldiers, and they're all wearing Nazi swastikas. And there's a red, Nazi banner hanging from the entrance to whatever facility they're going into. So it's very disorienting here. It's modern times, and yet we see Nazis.
Exactly. And that is a little surprising, because there have been a long time where anything referenced to Nazi was like, taken. Yeah. It was, taken out and
sanitized, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like, let's not promote.
Right.
Let's not give them any justice of acknowledging them, right?
Right.
Like,
we'll slap a Hydra patch on there instead.
Yeah. And everything became Hydra, right?
Yeah.
And especially during, like, if you think of the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Red Skull ran the Hydra, right? And so they kind of did the same thing with the comics. But here we are looking at Nazis. That is really surprising. And by the way, if people don't know, next episode, we are going to have the writers Jackson and Collin on the show. So we're going to be talking to them about all this stuff. Bob, I think we need to talk to them about this.
Yeah, I think definitely they got to explain this to us.
Yeah. So then we hear someone speaking off panel, and the soldiers are on alert, and they turn and raise their pistols and rifles towards the person speaking. Hey boys, nice horrifying Nazi war machine and planet killing resource grab you got here. Sure would be a shame if something happened to it. And you turn the page, like me. And what are we looking at, Bob?
Oh my goodness. It's the Sharon Carter, aka modern incarnation of the Destroyer, with her Nega Knight sword.
Yeah, and her white, Bob would probably say, skin tight outfit.
Well, now that you mention it, yes, I would.
Yeah. And she's standing there and she's got the destroyer kind of skull mask
Yeah.
on, which is a little weird seeing long blonde hair around it.
Yeah, but not unappealing.
Oh, this totally is a mood killer for me.
It is. The skull mask doesn't do it for you.
No,
Yeah, different strokes. Yeah.
gotta say. And it's a giant splash page of her, so it's a nice, entrance, if you will. And the Nazi soldiers, because I'm not even going to say German soldiers, because we don't know if they're German, right?
Yeah, they could be anything.
Right. So we're going to say Nazi soldiers, and we see the holy bleep. It's the bleeping destroyer. Run! You know my name. That's nice. But bad news, cosplay Goebbels. It's way too late for you to be doing anything but burn. And she takes that, was it Naganite?
Neganite, yeah.
Naganite sword, and she puts it into the ground and makes it explode. In the name of the master, fire everything! And they start like ripping at her with looks like Uzis. And but we also see Hydra here,
which is ironic. Don't you think? Because that's like the Uzi was manufactured
Did
originally.
You just Alanis Morissette me?
I did. Uzis were originally developed by the Israeli Defense Forces. Oh, there's some irony, right?
I guess so. Yeah. Don't you think?
I really do.
So she's diving into the shadows. Man, are you going to regret that? See, I made a promise. Never again would the Nazi crack the whip, not as long as the mighty destroyer lived. And then she comes out and they're firing it, and she takes the bullets into the sword and sends it back to them in an explosion. And sadly for you, I am very much alive. And I have a bat of pure explosive neganite. What do you guys have? Super pure blood, right? Well, I showed you mine. How about you show me yours? I like that line.
That's a good line. Yeah, that's a good line. Yeah, clever.
Yeah. Super pure blood. Show me yours. I like that. Sharon Carter. Nice moves. Bucky Barnes. Nice intel. What's next? And then the mask kind of dissolves around her, just leaving kind of like a perimeter around her face. It's really better if I show you. And coming out of shadows is Bucky and Val. How would you describe what Val's wearing this time?
You know, Val has a very similar uniform on as Sharon, except hers is all black. And of course, she's got the, she's got the belt and the hip holster, and there's a strap around her thigh that also secures the holster so that it doesn't shift around. It's, it's reminiscent of the Shield uniform, but it appears to be, a little fancied up. It's got a nice high collar. It's, as you might expect for Val, a little more fashionable.
Spoiler alert, it's basically more of that, except even more satisfying. I'm glad you came. Can't imagine Steve approves. Yeah, I didn't exactly advertise our shadowy unknown mission to my extremely sensitive superhero boyfriend. Especially since you've taken up with former Miss Madam Hydra over here. Be nice. Val's trying something new. All right, let's unpack that.
Okay.
Right? What? Steve is being left in the dark with Bucky and Val. Why do you think, Bob?
I just don't know if he'd approve, they seem to be on a mission of destruction, and that's not what Steve's all about. Steve's about apprehension, if possible.
It's all about destruction. You can count Steve out.
You can count Steve out, only in
it's going to be
what?
All right. Oh, is that a Revolution reference? Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. And I think they're going to have to seek some therapy over their communication. But
And what's this reference to former Miss Madam Hydra, Bob?
yeah, I mean, there was a time when Val took the place as Madam Hydra and ended up, I think, killing Viper. Right.
Right. And that was in Steve Rogers' Captain America. That was the
Yeah.
Hydra Cap.
Yeah. I mean, she had her reasons, of course. Her own way of doing things, I think, trying to try to bring down the house, but it caused some consternation for sure with Nick.
Speaking of which, weren't we supposed to have a fourth? He'll join us on the way. That's ominous. First time he's ever been called that, trust me. And here I thought Nick Fury was cagey. Sorry, but every element of this op is deliberately planned. Compartmentalization is key. Our target has contingencies on contingencies. Every attempt to neutralize him over the last 80 years has failed, including my own, and especially Steve's. He spends every waking day broadcasting hate and murder across the globe. He's protected by international law. By decency, he'd never show anyone else. By the assumption that no one could ever burn him down where he lives. But no one exists outside our purview. I'm done playing by the rigged rules of an unjust world. Holy bleep, you're actually going to do it. For the last damn time. In the name of the millions who died by his hand, his order, and his vile ideas, tonight, the Red Skull must die. We turn the page, and it's a gigantic splash of the three of them on a cliff in the middle of the night, looking down on a castle on the edge of the ocean, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like they're on a shoreline of some sort. Yeah.
Told you you'd like it. Yeah, when you're right, you're damn right. Ugly little castle, huh? For an ugly little man. Look, you both know that I love bleep talking a Nazi, but that whirring sound? That's a Gatling warming up on the roof. Good. Let them come. Master men, this is what we were made for. Protect the Führer with your blinding glory. Remember that while your power as Aryans come from God, what you are belongs to the skull. Who's talking, Bob? There's three guys coming out of the castle.
Yeah, I mean, these look to be sort of, if you imagine that the Master Man had a backup band, or that's what these three guys are. They look so they all have, it's sort of weird. One of them has a red jersey, and the other two have blue ones, but they all have swastikas on them, and they all look slightly different. But apparently, they are sort of variants of the original Master Man.
And then Bucky puts his shield up, from his arm. 80 years of that line, and it still makes me throw up in my mouth a little. There's a cure for that, and it rhymes with, and she throws her Neganite sword into the castle where the Gatling cannon was, and it goes
boom.
And Bucky starts firing his machine gun at the three men. Explosive ordnance. So you've met our kind before and think yourself prepared. Good. I love watching hope die. And he catches the bullet and he throws it, and it hits Val in the chest, knocks her back with the little explosion from the bullet. Val! Yes. Scream your pain to the night. Let me see the tears as you realize your own inferiority. Let me watch the great Contessa finally die for her 1,000 betrayals. And he jumps on top of her, the one with the red jersey, and puts his hands around her throat to choke her. The skull still speaks about you as his greatest failure. Really? Then he probably should have also mentioned that the original Contessa Allegra de Fontaine died 8 years ago in a Russian gulag. I'm a perfect backup of her mind installed in a next-generation life model decoy on the orders of the former gods of the 20th century. And you know what that means? I'm bleeping bulletproof, and you're extremely dead. Bob, what the heck is happening right
What?
now?
There's so much going on in these 3 panels here at the bottom of this page, Rick, that
Please do describe.
oh my God. So, when he first jumps on her and he's got his hands around her neck, she looks almost timid and afraid, right? But then her eyes start to glow a little red when she makes this revelation that she's, in fact, a modern life model decoy. And then her face splits in half and a mini cannon emerges, pointing straight at this master man's face. And the look on his face is priceless. It's temporary, but it's priceless.
Exactly. Next page, a Kabalooey. The face cannon takes him out. And all Bucky and Sharon can do is just stand there dumbfounded. And then Val's face closes back and she says, "Surprise. Now keep up. We've got a castle to storm." And Bucky looks at Sharon. I did not know about that. I like her much better this way. But if there's one thing I've learned from Aunt Peggy, respect is a very different thing than trust. And so they go into the castle, and it's dark, creepy, red lighting. And next time we make a run on one of the world's premier supervillains, maybe we don't blow our cover quite so early. We're making a statement. No use in whispering. Is that music? Wagner. It's always got to be Wagner. Bob, you know any Wagner tunes?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't, I don't know if I could hum them, but
Sure you can. Go ahead right now.
no, I don't. I don't have the tune in my head, but yeah, like my favorite movie of all time, Excalibur. Right?
Ooh,
Martin
yeah.
Bormann and all that, that fabulous movie, King Arthur movie, uses
Mhm.
a lot of Wagner, compositions. So
Oh, I said Wagner. It's
you
Wagner.
get it's
Yeah,
Wagner,
'cause
but
German.
it was
Yeah.
very, very big in Nazi Germany. It was like the
Mhm.
soundtrack for
It's
the
very
Nazis.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good stuff though.
No one does creepy quite like Schmidt. No matter how many times Steve's fought him, I've never managed to shake the goosebumps. That's exactly why we're here. Discrediting him only makes him stronger. Killing him only spawns another. But where we're starting today, it's going to end his evil once and for all. Big talk. Don't pull your punches when the time comes, hero. Intel says his broadcast studio is just ahead. Guy's basically a walking podcast these days. So all we got to do is crash his show.
Competition, Rick.
Yeah, but are they in 113 countries? Probably.
Right.
Probably
Yeah.
twice that.
Yeah.
Probably 5 times that.
Damn you, Red Skull.
You're going to let that go?
5 times that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not an expert in the UN, so I don't know.
Oh, is that all, my beloved Contessa? Then, well then, by all means. And a floodlight comes on the 3 of them, and Bucky and Sharon have to hide their eyes, but the LMD doesn't. She just stares ahead. Now we turn the page, and it is a double-page splash. Bob, what's a double-page splash?
That is 2 pages splashed over with art.
Well, what's a splash page? A splash page is
It's generally one singular page of the comic, right? And
right.
The art takes up the entire page.
So this is a double one. So it's basically one gigantic image. Now there's 3 small panels on the far right, but still it's a gigantic image. And we have a hologram of a gigantic Red Skull, 4 stories tall. And then we have, I don't know, dozens of Nazis there with cannons pointed at the 3 of them.
And these aren't the Uzis like
No.
the guys outside were using, right? These look like Hydra weapons.
Yeah. So Sharon turns to Val and says, "You bleep. You walked us right into a trap." "Did I? Huh. I hadn't noticed. Too busy luring them into one, I guess. Silly me. Wait. What?" "Hold, Destroyer, and watch the skies." And we turn the next page, and somebody is coming out. I wouldn't say parachuting, right? Because they're diving out of a plane over top of the castle, and this person holds a shield in front of them with a big white star in the middle, but it's everything else is in shadow. And he crashes through, and Bucky says, "Right on time." And then as the character comes down with the shield, Bucky punches it in the middle, which is seems like something that was planned, and it creates this reverberation that just goes out and knocks a lot of the soldiers down.
Yeah, like a big
And
sonic wave or something.
and Sharon says, "Steve?" We turn the page. It ain't Steve. It's a big, gigantic splash of,
It's the Red Guardian.
hey, it's almost like we knew he was going to be in this.
But yes, but we didn't know when.
So it's almost like I feel like I got to do like an editor's note, like you see in a comic book, right? Editor's note. For those who want to see the introduction of the Red Guardian in Avengers 43 and 44 from 1967, see episode 166 just 2 weeks ago. How would you describe this Red Guardian?
Well, he's big and he's burly, and he's got it's I don't know if have we seen this Red Guardian costume before? I don't recall. It's a little bit of a variation on the traditional one. This one's red and black, so it's probably equally red and black. Parts red, a little bit of black up around the upper torso, down the center of his torso, on the outside of his red pants. He's got black gauntlets. He looks to have in this image anyway. It looks like his helmet is a little bit of red and black with what's that crest down the center of it called, Rick?
A fin?
Almost like a fin, yeah. And he's got the white star on his chest, but he's got a red star on his shoulder, and of course he's got the red shield with the white star. And he's sporting a serious beard.
It's bushy.
It's bushy. It's a bushy beard.
It's a bushy beard. And he says, "Niet, even better. Red Guardian, meet the new destroyer. Got a feeling this will be a real enemies to friends arc for you both." He's the backup? Who's next? Botrock the bleepin' leaper? That's a funny line. Because at this point, Red Guardian's not exactly an ally.
True.
If there is backup here, it is all of you. This operation is mine. Is it? Who exactly told you about this op, Alexei? You know her as the White Widow. She knows and respects my mission to destroy the roots of fascism that now strangle my beautiful homeland. Oh, you mean Yelena? We love her. In fact, she's been on our payroll as of last week. What a coincidence. Indeed. And during all this, they're taking out soldiers. Tell me, then, was this all some capitalist con? Has the mission changed? Not in the least. The Red Skull is behind that door, and he won't be leaving. Then neither will Alexei Shostakov. Well then, Guardian, welcome to the Thunderbolts. And the two of them knock down this double steel door. James, for a man who has done so much to help me, you only had to knock. And we turn the page, and is a 2/3 splash page of the Red Skull in person, no longer a hologram. What's he wearing?
Oh, now he's looking good, right? Looks like he's got, black pants on, a nice black, is that a turtleneck? No, it can't be. It looks like maybe a black cardigan with a black collared shirt under it, and
A
and
dickie.
yeah, a dickie and a black, dress jacket. So he's looking pretty sharp dressed man.
Indeed. And you're leaving out two important things that are in his hands.
Yes, indeed. And his right hand, he appears to be, what is that, a mace of some sort? But instead of the normal chain connected to the ball with all the spikes on it, it looks to be a chain of electricity. And in his left hand, he has he has a very Kirby-esque weapon that appears to have several barrels of different sizes, all glowing red.
So he's speaking, and he's by himself in this control room. After all, you destroyed those fools in the outer circle, the greatest bulwark against my inevitable rise. And what's more, they were hoarding so many delicious resources that I was so happy to take. And now, likewise, I will take your lives. And he throws, swinging down, that mace that you spoke of, which is a very large ball with spikes, and it really like destroys the floor that they're all standing on. It makes a loud noise, Bob. And then he fires his weapon at the Red Guardian, who uses his shield. Lucan, you were a stain on the KGB even before you wore that degenerate mask. Lucan is dead, you Soviet fool. I ate him from the inside until only my glory was left. And Carter, wearing the name of men I crushed on countless occasions. Brian and Roger say hello, dirtbag. And so they're all, defending themselves and evading the weapons in the Red Skull's hands. Val, heads up. You might need to work quicker. Micromanagement isn't a good look, Barnes, especially this early in our relationship. Deal with the threat. I'll get what we came here for. You'll get to nothing. But James kicks the soldier in the face. You are as broken as your union. And he hits Red Guardian, connects with the mace. And you. And then that electricity chain that you were talking about wraps around the Sharon and pulls her closer. If you want to wear a skull so badly, I can help you do it more honestly. But Bucky intervenes and comes up and hits him with his metallic arm. That's enough cruelty. Barnes, catch! And Red Guardian tosses his shield, which he uses to defend himself against the mace. Do you think this is some kind of redemption? Heroism? It is cowardice. Admit the truth. You know how powerful hate is, and you know that it will always win. Yeah, well, I got friends now, and we're trying something new. And he takes the shield, knocks the weapons out of his hand, and then he comes and he gives him an uppercut and punches him with his metal arm. But the Red Skull has another trick up his sleeve, and he starts the little spikes that were in the mace. He sends them flying, almost like rockets, at everybody. There's nothing new.
I didn't see that coming. Little explosive rockets coming out of his electric mace.
No?
No, I didn't see that one coming at all.
I seem to recall as a kid something like that happening before, but I can't place it. Yeah. There's nothing new under the sun. There's only the eternal battle between history and the unquenchable hate of the Red Skull, of which I will always be the final victor. More like the final out. And Sharon, Destroyer, uses her Neganite sword to knock those 3 little missiles out of the air. All right, I've got the transfer data. We can finish this. Woof! And she jumps as there's an explosion behind her, Bob.
Crash!
Castle Red Skull, hear my command. Contingency compromised. Operation Protocol, Chrono 7-2. But just as he was giving the order, the Red Guardian takes him and throws him up into the air over to Bucky, who punches him and slams him to the ground. You said it yourself, Skull. Revolution is a killer. So let him work. And as Bucky's got him down, he pulls the Red Skull mask off. That's something we normally see.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not for a long time.
This is so familiar. And as the Red Skull is revealed to be Lucan. The body of Lucan, anyway.
The body, anyway, yes.
And he's on his back, and Bucky's standing over him with his left boot holding him down on the chest. And it looks like his left arm is broken. The way it's...
Oh, it certainly does. Yeah,
hanging there. Lucan once ordered you to kill me, which only brought about my inevitable rise. Do you think this will be any different? You have always been a puppet. To me, to the Circle, even to Steve Rogers. Though perhaps you enjoy having his hand up your... And before he can finish that, Bucky cocks his gun. One last shot. Just for me. I see you, my Winter Soldier. Next page, we get to those 9 equally sized blocks to kind of go back and forth and see the expressions between the two. And Bucky takes off his domino mask. I want you to know, everything you've built, we're going to burn it to ash. And when you do come back, whatever meat suit you decide to ride into your next Fourth Reich, know this. And he points the gun in his face. This isn't the last shot in our war, Red Skull. It's the first.
Bang!
Next page, we can't see the face of the Red Skull, but Bucky obviously shot him in the head. And Sharon reacts, let me be the first to say, bleep fascist and bleep that guy. Amen. I got it all, by the way. The Skull's entire network, tip to tail. Then there's only one thing left to do. I brought the vodka as requested. To what do we toast? The dead? The living who will now see justice? Oh, this isn't for drinking, and he takes the bottle. Ah, that works too. And Bucky lights the bottle of vodka and tosses it at the Nazi banners. Next page, one gigantic splash. What is it, Bob?
It's the band. It's the band walking away from Castle Red Skull with explosions and fire and smoke and destruction raging behind them. We see Sharon with her destroyer mask on and her glowing Neganite sword. We got the Red Guardian on the other flank holding his shield high. We see Vale behind Bucky, and Bucky is leading all 4 of them as they stride away from the destruction.
Indeed. It is like any good action flick, where they're walking away with their backs to the burning.
Not looking back. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They know they did it. They don't got to look back.
Last page. We have 6 panels, and we're in a dark room with computer monitors and just computers. What do you call those? mainframes, right?
Right. Yeah, mainframe computers, right?
And you
yeah.
hear the mainframes, right? You hear the bzz, whir, click, whir. They're all working.
These are old ones.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of that scene in was it Civil War? No, it was Winter Soldier.
Winter
you know?
Soldier. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when he
It
goes,
does remind you of that. Yeah.
yeah, he goes back and he finds Arnhem.
And we see a man sitting crisscross applesauce. Although, you know, a guy like the Red Skull would say it's Indian style.
Yes, he would. Yeah.
And he's sitting there, and there's like a treasure chest and piles of gold and jewelry and art. Looks like, his fortunes that he's taken over the decades. And it is the Red Skull. 80 years, 80 long years in the dark. Time has never moved faster, or been so unjust to one so noble. This world has forgotten the terror of the skull. It has for too long bowed to a pretender, an echo, a mask. They think they can end me, but they will finally learn to understand. I am the end. Next, Operation Red Money. And Bob, I'm just going to read this because I think listeners, if you haven't picked up Thunderbolts #1, pick it up because we can't do the art justice. And number 2, you're going to want to get this before, the story it kick ass, right? So next issue, when Contessa Valentina Allegro de Fontaine gets word that Kingpin will be overseeing the transfer of the Red Skull's fortune at the notorious Hellfire Club, Bucky Barnes enlists the aid of his favorite masters of infiltration, a symbiote-equipped Black Widow, and a dressed-to-impress Yelena Belova, a.k.a. the White Widow. But to rob the Red Skull of his ill-gotten gains, they'll have to go through Wilson Fisk. And that didn't go too well for Bucky last time. Very cool. Can't wait to read number 2. Bob, thoughts on this version of the Thunderbolts?
This is pretty good, Rick. This was a fast-moving, exciting, punch-heavy story, and it's left me with a lot of questions.
Well, it's a good thing we're going to have the writers here next episode.
Yeah. Definitely want to ask them a bunch of stuff. I hope they're forthcoming.
I know. Yeah, I got a lot of questions as well. I mean, I like this version of the Thunderbolts. It's a Black Ops, and it is going. I mean, they're not reacting. They are bringing the battle to the bad guys and looking to take them out once and for all. And it's nice to see Red Skull killed. At least, Lucan, the body is killed, but the soul, the inside of the Red Skull is there. And sort of like an Arnim Zola, I think he just goes to another, or Emperor Palpatine, he just goes to some other clone of some sort. But Bucky knows that.
Yeah.
And he's like, so now I got to go take out his assets.
Yeah. But there's something crazy going on this last page, Rick. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, there's a suggestion here that this Red Skull is the one that has been, hibernating since World War II, since his showdown with Cap.
It does suggest that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to learn more about this. Jackson and Collin, when we had them on originally, and if you guys want to get prepped for this, I highly recommend go check out our previous conversations because they've been on the show twice. Once at the beginning of Sentinel of Liberty, and so that was episode 91, and then they came back again to kick off the Cold War. So that was in episode 121. So, and here they are again, almost a year later, coming back. And we're going to talk to them not just about Thunderbolts. We're going to talk about the end of Sentinel of Liberty, what happened, how did they feel about, you know, not being able to write that story anymore, and how do they convince Lana Smith and Marvel to allow them to take these characters and put them into Thunderbolts, and all kinds of questions. I can't wait to talk with them about that.
Yeah.
But way back in episode 91, they said, you know, we're not going to go and do Red Skull story in Sentinel of Liberty. You know, at some point we have a Red Skull story we want to get to. Well, here we are.
Here we
And
are.
we got to it.
Yeah. Right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bob, you go first. Do you have a favorite panel from this issue?
Ooh, do I have a favorite panel? Let me see here. Where are my notes? That was my shopping list. Hold on a second.
Oh, what's on the shopping list?
There's my bananas. BANANAS. All right. You know, there's so many good ones. You know, you nailed it. Borges's art is gorgeous. They should just call him gorgeous, not Borges. I think that would be apropos. But I'm going to go with page 2, Rick.
Okay.
I know it's an unconventional choice for me.
Oh yeah.
But I love that top panel.
I bet Bucky you do.
And Val pointing the guns at each other as she's lounging on a deck chair at this Lake Como resort with her fruit bowl next to her and her umbrella drink. And I gotta say, she's a well-endowed, she's an attractive woman. That's what I meant to say. She's an attractive woman with a lovely hat. And I love the detail in this. I mean, the art of this in this issue is just phenomenal. Every panel is well drawn and detailed and gorgeous. But just the background here looks amazing. And the foreground is pretty awesome as well. So I love this panel.
So, Bob, don't you mean that she's a very attractive LMD?
Yes, that's
she's a
right.
Freaking robot, Bob.
I know. Yeah, that's all. I gotta talk to Jackson and Collin about that, because that sort of caught me blindside. I like Val.
Yeah, we totally have to ask about that.
Yeah, what's up with that? Last time we saw Val was like in Secret Warriors. I don't know, 27. She got arrested. She was heading off to prison for the whole Leviathan thing, and we knew that in Secret Warriors 28. I think Nick was going off to try to break her out, and that's the last we heard of her. Now we hear she died there and she's an LMD. Come on, there's got to be more to this story.
Yeah, let's find that out next week.
What about you, Rick? What panel jumps out at you?
I'm going to go with page 9, which is the one where they are looking down on the castle.
Yeah,
it just really hit me when I saw that. I mean, first of all, it's a really detailed castle.
Yeah.
Lots of cool, nooks and crannies. You get to see the brick and the layout and the steps, and it's just this really detailed castle. And then the fact that the 3 of them looking down on it, and then you see the water rippling and the moonlight hitting the ripples of the ocean. And let's not skip on the details. There's brush and grass along the side of the cliff. There's a tree branch there. And the 3 of them are standing looking down on it. And there's some symbolism there, right? Of looking down on the Red Skull.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So it just, I don't know. Yeah. I really like that panel.
Yeah, that's a great choice. It's another gorgeous, splash page by Borges.
Yeah. Yeah. Kudos to Geraldo on that.
Do you have anything you want to put on a t-shirt?
I do, Bob. I mean, how can you not? Page 29. How can you not have the explosion and the 4 of them walking away?
Yeah.
Like a 90s
action flick, right?
Action flick, totally, right?
It definitely could be Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Van Damme and
there's 2 guys, 2 girls.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Slap a wig on Stallone. I don't care.
You don't?
My age, I can't be choosy.
Yeah, and that would look cool on a t-shirt, wouldn't it?
It would look cool. Yeah,
Right?
it would.
Especially because that's Red Skull's castle being burned to the ground.
Yeah.
That makes it even that much better.
Yes, indeed.
How about you, Bob? What is t-shirt worthy for you?
Top panel, page 24. The Red Skull has just slugged the Red Guardian has just slugged Red Skull, and the skull is flying toward the reader. And the Red Skull says, "You said it yourself, Skull. Revolution is a killer." I'm going to go with that one. This is a pithy little phrase, little catchphrase. Revolution is a killer. And just the look on the Skull's face as he's getting walloped is priceless.
I like it. I like it. Who doesn't want to see a defeated Red Skull on a t-shirt? I'm currently wearing. Yeah.
Nice.
My Red Skull t-shirt in honor of today's episode.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Thank you. My daughter got it for me for Christmas a few years ago.
Nice.
All right, Bob. What's going in your time capsule?
Ooh, I really wrestled with this one, Rick. I really did. You know, I like to look for like little things that jump out at me that strike me as interesting. And so I went with on page, what page was it? Oh my goodness. Here it is. On page 27.
Don't you do it?
I'm doing it. Page 27.
Yeah. What is it?
Bucky opens up his Zippo lighter to light the vodka on fire.
Okay.
Is that page 27?
28. Okay.
28. All right, 28. 28. Opens up his Zippo lighter. And I thought, man, I love that. Right? Rick,
you like to play with fire?
Are you a Zippo lighter fan? Do you know?
I don't smoke, Bob, so I wouldn't know.
I got interested in them when I was living in Vietnam because they were really popular with the American troops during the Vietnam War. And they used to make them with the crests of the units. They're collector's items. They go for a lot of money now. And if you go to Vietnam, and like people try to sell you stuff all the time in Vietnam, and there's lots of fake antique stores. You can get like fake French coins that look like silver. They look like the coins that the French used during the colonial times. They're not real, right? But there's also tons of fake Zippo lighters as well. But the thing is, the Zippo lighters were first invented in 1932. First production model came out in 1933. But here, the interesting thing, when Zippo lighters first came out, they used this liquid fuel called Nepentha, right? It was like a petroleum extra, like kerosene. It wasn't until the 1950s, Rick, that they went to butane. But here's the thing. This is where it's going to get relevant, right? Because
please make it relevant.
The Zippo lighters became really popular during World War II. And in fact, Zippo stopped making lighters for the civilian market, like commercial. They only made them for the military. That's how popular they were. And in fact, Ernie Pyle, right? The wartime correspondent. He once said that.
Is that Gomer's cousin?
It was Gomer's cousin. Yeah. Except he wrote all the articles for like Stars and Stripes. Very important, well-known war. He said that Zippo lighters were like the most important weapon in the wartime effort because so many soldiers relied upon them. So I got to think Bucky in World War II had a Zippo lighter. And I got to think, is this a Zippo lighter? Like he's carried all these years? Like,
okay.
Who uses those? And now they have all those fancy ones. They got like jet flames that are blue coming out of them. They're all like, high end, like butane fan. And but the one he has looks like an authentic Zippo lighter. And I'm wondering, like, did he carry this like when he was a kid in World War II? And so for that reason, I saw that and I thought, yeah, that's going to be my time capsule because people don't carry like the Zippos anymore. They have the fancy new ones now, but those Zippos, lifetime guarantee, Rick. You buy one, lifetime guarantee.
What's one go for new?
You can get them. They're not expensive. You get a new one for like $20-$25. I mean, they have fancy ones. Obviously, they go for much more than that. And you can get antique ones, vintage ones. But there's a whole subculture that collects Zippo lighters. It's really interesting. And there's lots of cap ones. They're not like from the company, but they're custom ones that you can find. So,
all right.
Now that would have been cool if he'd had a Captain America Zippo lighter.
It's almost like a Spider-Man ashtray.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So how about you, Rick? What do you have in your time caps?
Well, mine's not going to be nearly as interesting or intricate or as detailed as yours, Bob.
Or synonyms for long.
Mine's the page before.
Okay.
Mine's the page before.
Yeah.
Because Bucky killed Red Skull.
Yeah.
Microphone drop.
Yeah.
That's very much
it's momentous.
Monumental.
It's monumental.
And so I think that goes into a time capsule. I mean, if we're going to look back on this day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, as a period of time in December of 2023, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in my time capsule.
You're going to look like in like 2043, you're going to look, I remember 20 years ago when Red Skull died.
Oh, that's so cute. You think I'm going to be around then? That's cute.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks, Bob, for helping me go through Thunderbolts #1. I can't wait to talk to Jackson and Collin next week.
Yeah.
You know what else I can't wait to do, Bob, is 2 episodes from now, episode 170, we are kicking off our long tail story, our first long tail story of 2024, voted by our listeners, and that is Streets of Poison, the 6-part story from 1990 where Cap gets under the influence of drugs, because this was a big story in the day of drugs in America, and Just Say No. And there's this drug on the streets called ice, and Cap accidentally becomes under the influence, and he does a whole bunch of things out of character, and there's all kinds of guest stars. You've got Daredevil and Black Widow and Diamondback, and then you have villains like Bullseye and Kingpin and Red Skull, and it's a who's who of characters in that time period of 1990. So done by Mark Grunwald and penciled by Ron Lim. So looking forward to kicking that off with you, Bob.
Yeah, indeed. Streets of Poison sounds like an early Bon Jovi album.
Yeah. Oh, I was hoping there was more to that.
No, that's it.
All right.
It's either it's feast or famine with me, Ray.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode, Bob. And as always, it's been fun wrapping Cap with you.
It has. I can't wait till next week.
All right. He's Bob Lucius. I'm Rick Verbanis. And please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. You got the lyrics up?
I do.
You want to do this?
Like I need. Hold on. I do have some. I need lip balm. Okay. All right. I got a little karaoke thing going on here, so hopefully you won't hear it.
Oh, you have like the music in the background?
Yeah.
All right, do it.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to hold a tune in my head.
You know what? Here's the funny thing is that I think because there's probably some lapsed time between us. Like we probably aren't gonna be able to do it at this. We're gonna. I know. And our ears, we're doing it at the same time, but it may not show up that way on the recording.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you start, and I'll follow your lead.
All right. Here it goes. Hold on. Let me just back it up a little bit.
That's what she said.
Is this the real life? Is
this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
Escape from reality.
Open your eyes. Look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy. I need no sympathy. 'Cause I'm easy come,
go little high, little low. Anyway the wind blows doesn't
really matter. Oh God, this is bad.
This is not going to work.
No.
I'm putting the knife in that one.
Oh, can we get to the good part?
All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Good part.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Let's get to that.
Oh, what happened to the? It like stopped singing. Oh, that was us. There we go. Mama.
Oh, we're starting
just killed the man. Put a gun against his head.
Pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
Mama, life had just begun. But now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh,
didn't mean to make you cry.
I'm not back again this time tomorrow. Carry on, as if nothing really matters.
Oh boy.
Too late. My time has come. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody.
I've got to go.
Gotta leave you behind and face the truth.
Mama,
ooh, I don't want to die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all.
Never did this song at all.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Long interlude.
All right, I can always cut this out.
There it goes. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Who do you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning. Very, very frightening me. Galileo. Figaro Magnifico. Just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family.
Spare him his life from this monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go? No, we will not let you go.
Oh, it just failed.
Oh no. Oh, Lord.
Oh, you have to cut that part.
Yeah.
All right. Cat scared my cat.
Your cat.
Yeah, the cat.
I think we just lost 4 patrons.
Yeah.